But what are your thoughts now?
Yeah, well,
2026.
without sounding too arrogant, I really knew that we would be vindicated because I think most of what was going on was pretty transparent from the beginning. I mean, I remember the first few days of the coup, it was kind of unclear. Is this real? Is this a psyop? You know, I had a few days of like, being uncertain, but I think it was pretty clear that they're really pushing globally these bizarre mandates that really don't make sense with what we've seen so far, even if it's real. And I think over time, the contradictions, the stories, the narratives, the mandates, the demands, pushing for the tracking and tracing, vaccine passports, all of that it was just so transparent. At the same time as we had, live coverage, me with Alex covering pretty consistently the SPARS document, Cladex, um, Crimson Contagion, all of these previous drills, the Event 201. Um, and then we had at the same time, I just bought Klaus's books in 2018, 19.
Oh yeah,
And
that was the fourth industrial
yeah, so I
revolution.
had Klaus on hand ready to go. And it's like, this dude is literally telling you, like, this is what all this is for. So, we had King Charles going to the Davos and saying all this. I mean, they just came out so heavily with the big agenda that it was pretty clear, I think, big picture what was going on. So I was very confident that we'd be vindicated, although nobody really knows how these sort of hearings
No,
never seem to go anywhere. Nobody ever gets in trouble, but
no.
it's good to see that, like, it's pretty obvious that, that guy's total piece of garbage. I mean, who says I am the science? I am science, right? I mean, it's
Right.
just so megalomaniac. So
Well, it is like the Jim Jordan phenomenon. Like how many years now since like 2016 forward? We got to hold a hearing and we're going to do X Y Z and nothing comes from it. It's
yeah.
just nonsense every single time.
Well, and of course Biden pardoned him, but when he was leaving. So remember that
Yeah.
He pardoned Fauci. So, um, what what do you if he didn't do anything wrong? Why is he getting pardoned? Right. So,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Um. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to come from the COVID stuff, but it's amazing how there is going to be no remorse from the powers that be. Which why would you expect so? But at least maybe in the Orthodox Church, right? I think Father Zachariah Lynch, was on Buck Johnson's podcast and talked about, and I was speaking with FDA about this. Like, there are so many priests that were almost defrocked, suspended because of their refusal to take the COVID jabs. And my former Metropolitan Joseph, I'm Antiochian, and he had a major fiasco and a falling out. We don't need to get into that, but they were talking like plastic spoons, 6 feet, social distancing, all this stuff during COVID. And, we could at least have some type of reconciliation within the Orthodox Church. It would be nice. Again, do I expect it to happen? Probably not.
yeah, I think I had quite a bit of opposition from bishops and priests as well, as we all know. We
Yeah.
took a strong stance, like Father Hears did. Many people did.
Yep.
A lot of threats, a lot of warnings, a lot of harassment, and we even had bishops assigning people to harass me and others, literally. Um, we had people saying that I needed to get in trouble, I needed to get excommunicated, I needed to be reported to the IRS, people in the OCA, priests doing this. So it was kind of an unbridled, just sort of assault. And the weird part was that during that period, if I ever spoke up, then it was me attacking priests and bishops. So it's like, you can't defend yourself, you can't explain yourself. If you do, look at the mean ortho bros doing everything we say they do wrong, when in actual fact you had multiple clerics, Archbishop Benjamin of the OCA, Bishop Golitsyn of the OCA, really honing in and really not doing it themselves, obviously, but basically assigning people who we found out, unfortunately, nowadays, turns out that by those own people's admission, they had severe mental problems as they were tasked with sort of coming after us.
Right.
And they've publicly admitted all this. So those people went away interestingly, but they sort of were there to do their duty. Now, what I'm getting at is you note the sort of unscrupulous approach of OCA bishops basically tasking and assigning people to come after me and other people who they know are unstable individuals, admittedly unstable by their own admissions now. Okay.
Right.
And I have all this saved. And they knew all that. They knew this was sort of assigned harassment to sort of get the dirt and take us down. And of course, it didn't work because unfortunately, the boomers, well, I guess fortunately for us, they don't know how the internet works. So they thought that just sort of pulling rank during that time would work. But it didn't do anything except sort of put them in a worse situation in the long run. And now that all of that has essentially gone away, all the COVID stuff, I think we were totally vindicated. We know it was a psyop. We knew it was, a larger agenda. But the expectation would be that if I was in the wrong, I would be expected to apologize.
Right. We all would.
When the clergy do significant wrongs, not only do they not apologize, they just wait and expect that everybody will just forget about it.
Which is sad because everybody has a frisk brain and they probably will forget about it.
Exactly.
FDA and I were talking about this recent, it was kind of going around the last 3 years, but there was a recent like Medium article. Only according to a survey among Gen Z, 30 to 50% have an inner monologue. I don't even know how you read or have critical thought if you don't
They
have
don't
a
read.
voice inside your head.
I mean,
Like,
you've done streams pointing out that they can't read.
yeah, that is true. That was another thing, is only about 45 million people in America have above a 6th grade reading level. They can barely read a newspaper, essentially.
Mhm.
It's pretty, trying to get wealthy off writing of books is a terrible move in the 21st century. Nobody can literally
Yeah.
read.
Well, it's funny because I don't have any direct proof of this. It's just my own thought process and observation. But a lot of, we've been to 5 funerals in the last 2 years, and several of those people were not old. So, and all the people that I'm thinking of, except for one, and not just funerals, but significant hospital problems, including my own dad. I mean, these were all
Yep.
quadruple boosted boomers and Gen X. So, and a lot of these people, we warned them that I would not do all that because it could exacerbate existing conditions. I can't prove that. I'm just saying that those were the things that we said
Yep.
to these friends and family back during the COOF. And unfortunately, many of those people are not with us now. But, this is why, and this is what we were saying at the time. It's like, if you go back to the 2000s or the 90s, there's no cost in denying conspiracies, right? You don't,
Right.
oh, I don't believe the JFK event. Okay, fine. There's no cost in that. But when you get up to 2020, 2022, to outright deny so-called large-scale psyops and quote conspiracies, now there's a cost.
Right.
Because if you're going to go with the establishment, you're going to place your bet on the establishment, and the establishment is full of liars and Satanists and disgusting people. There's now a heavy price to pay if you choose wrong.
Right. Absolutely. And it seems like, trust in the institutions, it's like this weird juxtaposition. I don't know if you've noticed it online. It feels like, Alex Jones, Lord Voldemort, always talks about how people are more awake now than ever. It seems like that's the case. Like a lot of conspiracies are almost normalized, but at the same time, it feels like people are dumber than shit than ever. I mean, I was telling someone, it feels like doing long form educational content was easier just a few years ago than today. It just feels like the short TikTok feed, the brain rot from immediate short form content. People are not in the same mood for long form educational content than like 3-4 years ago. I don't know. Do you feel that same way or no?
Absolutely. I think you can see it in the reactions to anything high profile. It's very much emotional reaction. It's not logical argumentation or critical thinking. We've seen this obviously in the debate sphere, where debate, and I don't have a problem with blood sports entertaining debates. I think they're fun.
Neither do I.
But the problem is that when it gets into essentially only being that, say in terms of apologetics, right? The last several public debates I've done relating to theology, there have been explicit open cheating. They're just reading ChatGPT scripts. They're reading AI scripts. They're
Well, that dude
doing
had like meta glasses on, didn't he?
yeah. We had a Cholo cheater with meta glasses. We had
Cholo cheater.
Captain to Crack Rock was doing ChatGPT.
Cholo cheater.
Yeah, Captain Crack Rock was doing ChatGPT live in the debate.
Was that the one a few days ago? Because I didn't catch the debate, but I caught a clip, and it clearly looked like you would say something. He would chat GPT it or AI, get an AI response, and then he would turn and
no, that's just one, bro. That's just one of several. That's Marquette. So Marquette was the atheist blacktivist manosphere guy from 2 days ago. He was doing it.
Well,
Captain Crack Rock is a Black Hebrew Israelite. He's like the top. Oh, he's the biggest of the Black Hebrew Israelites, and I debated him twice, and he was using ChatGPT. So when the Muslim debate that I did at DebateCon 8, my first debate was Waleed Naeem, the Muslim guy, and from where I was sitting up on the stage, I could look and see he was reading a ChatGPT script off his phone, and I'm like, "Are you like your opening statements is ChatGPT?" That kid that I was trying to set up a debate with, Jesus and Whatnot, who has a popular Instagram, that 19-year-old, 20-year-old, whatever he is, that guy admits that when he did the Need God debate, he cheated and was using AI for his opening statement. There was another Muslim debate where this happened. I forget what it was. But anyway, so essentially we're at the point where now I'm really stressing that debate needs to be formal and in person, because that's really the only way to exclude AI. Anyway, your question wasn't about debate, though. Your question was, but it's an example of how
same point.
It's how people are just relying on some spit out AI prompt, and they've never read any of these books. That's why I called that black dude 2 nights ago the blacktivist. The thing that started the debate getting really crazy was he started spouting out these weird claims that Romanian monasteries own slaves, and I'm like, okay, what?
What?
I said, what's your source for that? And he was like, bro, it's just a fact, bro. And I'm like, okay, maybe it is, but cite the source. Like, where are you getting that? Because I was like, I don't think you've actually read anything on this. I think you're just saying that. And he's like, I don't have a source. It's just a fact. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just start asserting facts that don't have sources. Cool. Right. So yeah, those are a great example. And then of course you're absolutely right that the reels and the TikTok brain has just taken over, and it's sad because the younger you go, the worse it is.